What is up, my veggies? My name is VeggieTales Raymond, and welcome back to another movie review. Finally, I'm getting around to reviewing the Lego Movie 2. I've been putting this off for some random reason. I've been putting this off. I have no idea why. I saw it literally a week ago, and I've been putting this off for so darn long. I'm just now getting to reviewing it. But this video is probably going to be a little longer because I am going to do the same thing I did for It and My Little Pony movie, and I can't think of any other movie I've done this for. Half this movie will be, half of this review, will be non-spoiler, and then the second half will be spoiler. Because I want to talk about everything that happens in this movie. Because I have a lot to talk about. Now, I'm probably going to keep non-spoiler pretty short, because I feel like the more stuff I want to talk about is in spoiler territory. So, let's go ahead and get into the non-spoiler part. So, my mind is blanked. Okay, so this movie was a great follow-up to the first Lego movie. This movie literally picks up right after the first one, and it has tons of laughs. It's great to see this animation again, especially after the last two Lego movies we got, especially with the last one before this actually being not that good. This one was pretty darn good, pretty darn fantastic, I have to say. And I really, really enjoyed this one. And this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but I think I might have had a tad bit more fun with it than the first one. I had a lot of fun with the first one. Don't get me wrong. I saw that 10 times in theaters. That's not even a joke. I saw that 10 times in theaters. But the fact that this had a lot more things that I enjoyed, that I like in movies. Not that the movie doesn't have its faults, but there are more positives than there are negatives. Sorry, I just had to fix the camera a little bit. It was a little crooked. There are a lot more positives to this movie than there are negatives. It's a great follow-up. They do some stuff that I was like, really? You couldn't have done that better or something like that? Now, first things first, I'm going to say, if you do not like musicals, this movie you're going to be annoyed, probably. Now, I won't say this is a full-blown musical, like something like Moana or Frozen or Book of Life or anything along those lines, but it is a musical. I'm gonna say that this is a musical. You know what I mean? There's a few songs here and there that are musical, like there are musical numbers. It's not like it was in the Lego Batman movie. There was that one song that Batman did at the beginning of the movie, and there was the song in the credits. No, this is actually legit musical numbers where the characters are singing, and it's a little funny sometimes because the characters are questioning, like, are we in a musical at one point? So that is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the time, though, this movie really, 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 really does everything I wanted it to. Like, it had everything going for it for me. Like, a lot of comedy really worked in this movie. Yeah, there were some jokes that fell flat, but also it worked. Seeing some things that happened in this movie was great. And one thing that I'm glad happened in this movie, there was some... I was worried they were just going to neglect the fact that the Lego Batman movie existed. But they gave us some clarity. Just like, it was at one point like, where's Batman? It's like, oh, he's off doing his own solo adventure. I'm like, I'm glad you did that. But that also brings me some questions. I'll get to that later. But there's a lot of stuff in this movie that really, really works. And it's super duper entertaining and super funny. And it's just, overall an enjoyable experience. And I cannot say I did not have a fun time with this film. I would watch this 20 more times probably. I'm pretty say I'm dying to go see it again. As soon as I get some more money, I'm going to go see it again. Because this movie is super fun, super energetic. It is filled with so much stuff. Now, let's get into a tad bit of the negatives real quick. There's nothing really too negative about this. But except for the characters don't seem as important as they did in the first movie. Like Unikitty, Benny, Metalbeard, and Batman. They don't seem really as important as they did in the first one. Don't get me wrong, they're still here, they're still funny, they're great, and there's some importance, but there doesn't seem as big as an impact as there was in the first movie. And it just really, it stuck with me for a little bit, but I was like, nah, this movie's good, I love it. That's literally how it was. I was like, oh, I thought that for a minute. Like, nope, I don't worry about it. I'm not going to care for now. This is good. I'm going to stick with this movie. I'm not going to criticize it. And the movie was so good. And you know how the movie brought the first Lego movie brought, this is kids playing with toys. This is a kid playing with a toy and his dad. And that's at the end. Is like, but this movie doesn't really let you forget that it's place in the real world. That the real world is part of this. The movie doesn't really let you forget that because it keeps cutting back to it a little bit, which doesn't bother me. I thought it worked well. It had a really great message as well, which actually resonated with me a lot better than the lesson in the first one did, which I'll talk more about that when I get to the spoiler part. But the movie itself just works. The comedy works. There are a few jokes that fall flat, but not that many. The songs are great. The new characters are great. I love Sweet Mayhem in this movie. Queen, whatever, Wanabe, or whatever you want to say it. Whatever her name is. Her name is basically Queen, whatever I want to be. And I can relate to that kind of. I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. This movie is so entertaining. And it just, overall, is just a enjoyable ride. We're just sitting there waiting for what's going to happen next in this film. And just like, oh, you want to see more. Now, in my opinion, yes, I love seeing Emmett again. I love seeing Lucy again. Some characters that they threw in there, I was like, really? And I'll get to that in spoilers. But the movie was like so darn good. And I cannot believe how well this movie was done. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm like 90% sure this is going to be my favorite movie of the year. Yes, I've only seen 3 movies this year so far. But it's shaping up to look like this might be my favorite movie of this year. Because the Lego Movie was my favorite movie of 2014. And I guarantee this one's going to be my favorite of this year. And it's such a good movie. I was hyped since the trailer came out. And I'm going to give it a full-on 5 out of 5. Because I liked it that much. It was so entertaining. It was super energetic and just super awesome. Okay, so I don't really know what else I can say about it without spoiling. So that's why I went ahead and give the rating there. So if you guys want to go check out the video, leave. If you guys don't want any spoilers, if you guys want the spoilers and you've already seen the movie, stick around. I got a lot to say. Okay, first things first, I'm going to touch upon the one character. Rex. I think his name was Rex Dangervest. I think it was his name, something like that. Oh boy. There was actually reason for this character to actually be voiced by Chris Pratt. Just like Emmett was voiced by Chris Pratt. It was a reason that why Rex was voiced by Chris Pratt. Like I said, this is the spoiler part. So if you do not want spoilers for the Lego Movie 2, leave the video. But a twist that happens. So I'm gonna start from the beginning of the movie before I get into the whole Rex thing. Um, the movie really picks up where it lets off, the Duplo attack, and then Apocalypseburg 5 years later, and it's really cool to see what's happened because like now you get to see like what happened when his sister first started playing with him, and then as she got older and started to get from other toys and get into the older kids Legos and started playing with the older Legos, and there was still the Duplo toys in there, and I thought that was really cool because I'm surprised they actually said Duplo in this movie and in the last one as well, but they didn't say Duplo in. I mean, they didn't say Lego in this movie. They say Duplo. They don't say Lego though for some reason. I don't know. But the movie overall has a really great and fun feel to it. It's got and like ever with the characters that just show up in this movie that is just great, and there's so many scenes. Okay, here's what I'm gonna bring in the whole Lego. There's a whole bunch of little things we're talking about the 5 years of this movie, how long this has been going on. Then you get the stuff from the Lego Batman movie that's been implemented in there. The way they mentioned the Lego Batman movie, and even Alfred makes a little cameo in this movie, which is really really cool. And then later on in the movie, a little later in the movie, freaking there's like they get captured by Sweet Mayhem and all that stuff, and then like there's like who's gonna help and everything, and then Harley Quinn shows up. Not Harley Quinn you might be thinking of, not the one from the Lego Batman movie. This is Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. So that brings the whole what the heck to this movie. When we got the whole Lego Batman movie thing, so there's two Harley Quinns apparently. But I kind of have a theory about something about the Lego Batman movie, but I'm not really going to talk about it in this video because I'm going to say that for a theory video, so definitely look out for that. But the movie is just done in such a creative way, and then they go off when Sweet Mayhem captures everyone. They go off to the Sistar system, Sistar, and they meet up with Queen whatever Wannabe, and she has her big musical number singing about, oh, I'm not evil, I'm actually not evil at all. And I'm like, wow, so I was like, you're clearly evil, you're singing about being evil, you are clearly evil. And I can't lie, that whole song got me a good laugh out of me. And I put I bought that song on iTunes, and it's just such a good song to listen to, and it's catchy, it gets stuck in your head. By the way, I'm going to get to a part, but then we can get back to Rex, we get to Emmett, and he meets up with Rex, and Rex is just this typical big, strong dude, I can do everything guy, and he's really just there to give Emmett some motivation to be tougher, and it's just overall is funny for the most part. And then later on, back with Lucy and the rest of them, are trying to begin to listen to this song, which is amazing, that I just absolutely love. And you guys know what song I'm talking about. This song's gonna get stuck inside yo. This song's gonna get stuck inside yo. This song's gonna get stuck. It's amazing. That song is just, it gets stuck inside your head, like it says. And I just straight up loved this movie. It was so good. And then later on we get into all these little cameos and stuff like that. And for Pete's sake, later on, the movie gets a lot better with the whole... And there's a freaking Queen whatever Wannabe and Batman gonna have a wedding. And they have a song about that, how she's trying to convince freaking Batman to be jealousy and trying to get Batman to actually marry her and blah, 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 blah. And it's actually a really funny scene. And I'm like, whoa, they're actually doing this. So technically, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil the end right now. Batman and technically they get hitched. So technically they're married. So I'm like, whoa, that's something I was not expecting for the Lego movie too. Especially what happened in the Lego Batman movie. But something that happens in the movie is let's jump back to the Rex stuff. Rex, actually, his backstory is he got stuck under the dryer and never got played with, and then he left out and never got found or whatever by his friends or whatever, or he something like that. But then it turns out that Rex is actually Emmett from the future, and Emmett got knocked under the thing, and Lucy and them can never find him, so he's stuck there, and Emmett becomes this hard, brooding bad guy and wants to stop everything, and that's kind of representing how Finn, the boy playing with the Legos, doesn't want to play with his sister and wants to just play by himself. But then the sister represents just wanting to play with his brother, and there's getting a whole bunch of fights, and that's the real world comes into play. And the movie is basically about sharing, basically, and playing with your siblings. That's the whole point of the whole thing there. And I'm like, that's the good message, because I used to struggle with that. I got into fights with my little sister with playing with toys and stuff when we were younger. For Pete's sake, when I was little, she busted my head open with a Buzz Lightyear. I might say that for another story, for a story time video. But for Pete's sake, the movie just, for the first part, and let's not mention that about Rex. I did not like Rex at first. Like, I was like, he's such a annoying character for the most part. But then when you figure out that this is an older version of Emmett, who has been neglected and stuff, his character makes sense. And it was a twist I was not expecting. And it was really, really great. And then there's Armageddon, which is like when their mom comes and takes the Legos away and has them put them all away. And when that happens, there's a whole little musical number when they're all in the freaking toy chest or whatever, where they're singing, "Everything's not awesome, everything's not cool, I am so..." I've listened to this song so many times, it's so good. And it just really, really works, and the movie just gets and literally we get scenes in the real world of Emmett, Lucy, well, not only Lucy, but Emmett, Lucy, of Emmett and Rex, which is technically older Emmett, fighting in the real world as Lego figures. They're not moving like in a weird toy-like action, like they would like probably move in real life. Like they're just like moving around, like they're kind of on strings or whatever. But that really, really works and that's really, really creative. And later on, Rex disappears because he's the future version of Emmett, because Emmett decides he's not going to become like Rex. And I forgot to mention Sweet Mayhem. Probably my favorite new character in this. I so want the Sweet Mayhem minifigure so bad. I haven't gotten any Lego Movie 2 sets yet, but I want them so bad because I love that Sweet Mayhem minifigure. It is so cool and I love it, and her voice actor is so good. I love it when she's not wearing her helmet because I love the design. And yes, the way she looked was spoiled for me because I saw a set with the image of her on there. But the song, she has a great singing voice too, and the character is great and adorable, and I love it. And the movie and maybe later at the end of the movie we find out Wild Style sung "Everything Is Awesome," and Emmett's like freaking out. And I kind of predicted that that Wild Style sung "Everything Is Awesome" because of the whole hair thing, and there was a minifigure that came out in the minifigure blind bag minifigure series that had her like all dressed up and stuff, and I was like, I think I know what that means. And it like really was just a really great scene. And the movie, and there's even a part in this movie where a human steps on a Lego and it hurts. Which honestly, I don't think stepping on Legos hurt that bad. Don't get me wrong, it hurt. I did a whole challenge where I walked on a freaking pile of them. But the movie is just so good. It's done in such a great way. And I cannot see myself not enjoying this movie thousands of times again. Because it is so good. I would watch this 1,000 times again. It is so good. When it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm gonna get me a Blu-ray copy of the first one and this one. I hope they release a double pack, or maybe a quadruple pack with all four of the Lego movies. Let's hope. But this movie is so good. Now, here's the thing I'm wondering: are we gonna get another Lego movie? There's a big talk about this movie called The Billion Brick Race. There's been a lot of rumors saying it's canceled. It's still in development. A standing release date was for May of this month, but I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. We'll see if that movie ever gets made. Because, like I said, this movie I gave it a 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved this movie. So, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please tap the like button down below. Subscribe, leave me a comment, and link to all my social medias will link down in the description below. And do not forget to hit the notification button to be notified when I upload these sweet, sweet videos. Ooh. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!